Hey guys, today I'm doing a review on the Ipv3 Li from Pioneer for You. It's the new box mod from them. It's has temperature control, and then your typical wattage mode. You can run either the titanium or the nickel coils on these. Let's see, it's pretty similar to the Ipv2 as far as the cosmetic aspects of it. They've changed up a few things. Still has those beveled edges, the nice angles here. Touch sensor button up here. They changed the fire button. It's not these. There's still the tactile style buttons down here on the wattage up and down. They put a better button on there. The back door is it's held in by this little spring-loaded little bearing up here. It's not magnetic, but it's you don't have to take off those little tiny screws anymore. So go over a few specs here. It will go all the way down to 10 watts output power, minimum of 10 watts. It will go all the way up to 165 watts. It is upgradable to go up to 200 watts. And then the temperature control is in joules on this, so it'll go anywhere from 5 joules all the way up to 50 joules. Let's see. The atomizer resistance it'll read is the lowest it'll read is a 0.1 ohm resistance, and it'll fire all the way up to a 3 ohm resistance. The joule in the joules mode, the atomizer resistance is a 0.05 ohm at the minimum, and a 0.3 ohm at the maximum. I'm still learning about the whole joules thing, so just reading out the specs on this little pamphlet. And then you can choose also from the centigrade or Fahrenheit. So in centigrade it'll read from 100 centigrade to 300 centigrade, and in Fahrenheit it'll read 212 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 572 Fahrenheit. This does have the Yeehee SX330-V3SL chip in it. I love the Yeehee chips. They're great. Let's see. Has low voltage protection, low resistance protection. High input voltage warning, output short circuit protection, reverse battery protection, temperature overheat protection, and like I mentioned, there is a software upgrade that you can upgrade this to go to 200 watts. Let's see. Mention that. Let's see. This is the first IPv box I've ever owned. Besides the IPv Mini I had, this one's very different as far as the screen display. 5 to turn it on, and then this part kind of takes a little bit of getting used to, but 5 again, and that'll bring up your you go to system on, and then you can go between joules and power mode, exit on and off, system on and off. So when you go to the joules mode, you can then decide if you want to do Celsius or centigrade or Fahrenheit, sorry. And then you can adjust your centigrade goes all the way down to 100, and then all the way up to 300. And then in the Joule mode, you can then pick your nickel coil or your titanium coils, which is really cool. And then yeah, the power mode is very straightforward. It's just, you know, power mode on and off. And then system off. It takes some getting used to, but it's not a big deal. Pioneer for You logo, Ipv3 Li, and then it'll go dead, and then you just turn it on. Then you have your menu. Displays your voltage, your resistance, and your wattage, battery life, and then you've also got the presets here. You've got 5 of them, and it's just like the IPV, other IPVs. You just you know, you can preset 5 of them to whatever you want. And then if you want to change one of them, you just hit the down to whatever you want. Say I want to go to 40.5 watts, and then you know, well, you gotta have an atomizer on it. Let me throw the Arctic on here just to show you. Throw the Arctic on there, and then, you know, say I go down to 40 watts, and then you fire it, and then that saves it in that preset. So yeah, go up to change to each preset, and then you hit the wattage down to adjust it, and then you hit the fire button to lock it in, and then it'll stay that way until you change it again. They did enable the touch sensor button now, which I like. I think it's pretty cool. And then you can also turn it on and off, touch off. It doesn't. You do have to kind of wake it up though, to once it goes, and then wattage up and the power button at the same time turns it back on. So I like that. I like that feature of the touch button. Like I was saying about the door, it runs on these little tracks here. You can see it just slides in there, and then it's got this little ball bearing type spring-loaded little bearing thing that keeps it locked in. It's got a little divot in the top there. You can see right there, a little divot. It notches into there, so you just push it in, and it can be a pain to get off sometimes, but I mean, I'd rather have to deal with this than 2 tiny little screws having to take off every time. But does have external USB charging port, good venting on the bottom. They all do, as far as I know. Spring-loaded 510 connection. Let's see. I mentioned they changed the fire button. They did have you know, wattage up, wattage down with these little tactile buttons, and then they had the fire button is the same. They changed that. It's a pretty nice little button. I know these buttons are notorious for sticking and firing occasionally, but see if I'm missing anything here, guys. Now I don't have a any nickel or titanium wire or any temperature control tanks right now, or else I'd show you the temperature mode. But I will be getting one in the future, because I think that's the way most of the vaping hardware is going, to temperature control and titanium, nickel coils, whatever. I think Canthol's slowly becoming pretty obsolete. Scaly 150, just a little size comparison. Ipv3 Li is a little bit taller. Just a little bit longer too, not by much though. Pretty much the same width. But so far I really like this thing. Very solid, feels good in the hand. The bevels on the corners really make it comfortable. I keep it about 50 watts in the Arctic. Guess the only thing to do now, guys, is just show you how it performs. Take the camera up here and I'll show you how she toots. Pretty well, I like it. Let's see. This was sent to me from gearbest.com for review. I'll put a link to the item in the description below. And let's see. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. One second, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description so you can go get you one of these. Let me get you a price to what they're going for on GearBest real quick. Okay, currently on GearBest.com they have these for $84.99. The original price was $112.83, and they've it's 25% off now for $84.99, which, in my opinion, it's worth it. To be able to upgrade to 200 watts, even though most people would never use that much, but you know, it's nice to have upgrades on something like that, just in case, you know, you decide you do like to, you know, drip at 200 watts or whatever. But yeah, I'll put a link in the description to the item for gearbest.com. I think that about does it, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.